Alright, hello again there folks. This is Sullla once again. We're going to pick up where I left off yesterday, which was streaming with Master of Orion. This is the rebooted Master of Orion. It's still in early access, as you can see up here. So, I was doing a Cylons game, and I got through the first 50 turns last night, so I'm just going to pick up where I left off and continue playing. And I don't know, I may end up putting this on YouTube, I'm not sure. It's more the work involved in getting it up onto YouTube more than anything else. So let's see, what do we have here? 18 population, 4 colonies. I don't know how well that compares to other games because I haven't played that much yet, but I think I'm doing well vis-a-vis the AI races. Alright, so why don't we, to help me refresh my memory, go through and look at what was going on in the colonies. So Mentar just popped out a colony ship. There it is, and I told it where to go before stopping for the for the session, which is good because I might not have remembered. That's right, it's going to this planet, which is not a very good planet. This is actually a pretty terrible planet, but I want to put a colony here so I can then start building structures in the system. I can like fortify this system if I go ahead and have a colony down. So that's done for, as I said, strategic purposes, not because that planet is any good, because it's not. And what I have on this planet, again, Master of Orion really needs to get a list of buildings that you have instead of this silly scroll through planet thing. Oh, by the way, here's what the capital does if anyone hasn't seen this. 10 command points, and it's an Empire unique. Losing this structure causes loss of morale. Yeah, that would be bad. We wouldn't want to lose the capital. What else do we have? The Marine Barracks, this is military stuff. There's the Biosphere. Oh, you can apparently scrap stuff from this screen. That's kind of cool. I wish there was a more efficient way to do it. And the Starbase. Anyway, so we've got various stuff. They really need a list of what's on the planet so I can just show people what we built. We built a lot of the basic infrastructure last time in the first, the early turns. Anyway, good evening, Zev. Just getting started here. This is my second colony. It's building a colony ship to keep expanding. Again, has some of the basic infrastructure in place. This is an okay planet. It's not great. It's not great, but it's all right. Good evening to you too, Tenacious Pace. This is third planet. It's working on cloning center, which will boost growth, which is pretty important. It can grow up to size 11. It's only size 3, so it can grow a long way. And this planet's just getting started. It was recently colonized. It's just getting started. We also have a tech that's about to come in. This one will allow me to... I don't think this one does anything on its own. I think that this one unlocks the route to future stuff. Strategically, I've got ships blockading these entrance points right here. So on the map, that's right here, and then right here, and then right here. And the goal of that is to block off this system, and this system, so none of the other races can get through. And then I have this huge, huge backline area to colonize. So that's kind of a quick summary. Let's keep going. I like to hit next turn when I'm like zoomed out so I can see the AI ships moving on the map. And it looks like we have been brought in contact with the Sakra. That's a scout of theirs.
You are now before the hierarch of the Sakra brood. Threaten not my progeny, and you and yours may live on.
Anyway. Welcome, buddy. So that was the only reason I had a scout over here. I was just waiting for the Sakra to show up so I could talk to them. Let's check out where they are on the bar graph, shall we? According to the bar graphs, I'm in last place. That's not really true, though. These bar graphs don't seem to be doing a very good job of measuring. So, like, according to score, I'm doing terribly. But I'm actually not doing terribly. You can see I'm even with everybody in army except the Mercians, who are a very warlike race, the kiddies. In population, alright, so I'm even with the Sakra and Pop. Of course, that's their advantage. They grow really fast. My advantage is research. And the Sakra only have 3 colonies. So, again, showing how I think the Sakra are really strong in the current build of the game. They only have 3 colonies, but look, they have as much population as I do because they get an innate bonus to growth. So they're making the most of what they have, and I guess they've got more money. So, whatever. They're not really standing out at anything except they've grown quickly. So, let's get rid of this scout. Wait, what the... I can make the scout spin? That's weird. Look at this. I can make it spin around. Anyway. So much for small pleasures, right? I'll get rid of that. Free up the command points. You're limited in how many ships you can have in this game. And that scout does take up a point.
Even without me,
So what do we finish? Class 1 shields. Class 1 shields are pretty good. I have no idea if ECM jamming does anything yet, because it's very early on in the game. The shields are quite nice, though. You get shielding that has to be broken before the hull starts taking damage, and it reduces damage per shot. We are not going to upgrade the designs, but I'll try to build an actual ship at some point. So I had two choices. I want to get this tech here, Neutron Collider. This is a big bonus to production, +1 production for each cell, which is like each population point that's working. And I also want to grab this tech because this one gives me fungal farms, and I have some planets that are coming in that are going to need the food. I have a desert planet that really needs this food. So why don't we do this one? It's pretty cheap. It's a cheaper tech, and then go on to this one afterwards. And we'll go from there. By the way, so the first big research building is this one here, the Advanced Data System. +1 research per cell. It doubles the research output from population, goes from 1 to 2. That's a big one. Yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. I don't think that this game is like fantastic, but it's okay. It's not bad, if that makes sense, and I do enjoy a lot of the different mechanics in here. I like the fact that it maintains some things from the original Master of Orion. I mean, it doesn't really play anything like the original Master of Orion, but there's still some pretty cool stuff in here. Let's just move that while I'm in here to get the growth 1 turn faster, because why not? I don't think anything's changed on the other planets. Yeah, just happened to see that because I zoomed in. I've been enjoying it, yes. I think it's fair to say that. I don't think that this is going to be like a go down and it's one of the great strategy games ever, but I mean it's fun to play and it's entertaining, and I like the fact that it's kind of cute and it doesn't take itself too seriously because the original Master of Orion didn't take itself too seriously. So I like that I can play the turns quickly if I queue things up ahead of time. Combat is not great. I wouldn't say it's too good right now personally. Needs some work. Let's just leave it at that. It needs some work. So if I had been microing my colonies every turn, I could have zoomed in and got that colony ship done a turn faster. But I'm playing a little bit faster, which is fine. I don't need to do... This is average difficulty, the only difficulty right now. Well, let's get the cloning center done. Actually, no, it doesn't even speed it up a turn. Yeah, it doesn't even speed it up a turn. Okay, so I'll leave it like that. Granted, I would get production overflow, but I'll just leave it the way it is. So that's a good turn. We're growing. Got another colony ship. So we got a colony ship that's going to come out of this planet here,
A little
Pluvius.
friendly barter will help both our races thrive, don't you think?
They want to trade... They want to buy microbiotics for 90 credits. I don't think I want to do this. So I don't need the money, and I would rather hold on to this tech. I think that that's a pretty valuable tech. Let's see what they say when I say no. Let's see if the relations drop. I expect they will. Yep, so see how it ticked down?
How unfortunate. I hope you'll change your mind.
I guess I'm not his friend anymore. Yeah, I figured that.
I suggest you consider this offer carefully.
So, even though I do not actually want to trade charts with the Mercians, I'm going to accept it just so I don't take a relations hit. Like, this is going to benefit them way more than it benefits me, but I just don't want them to take a relations hit. So which tech was microbiotics anyway? Do I have any preferences? Oh, great. Yeah, I left events on for this game, and so I had a bad event just hit my home world.
Controller, let me
Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got hit with a ton of pollution. That's what that event did. It created more pollution here. Fortunately, it didn't boost me over 100%, but I got to be real careful now. So if you want to clean up pollution, you can do this. You can run pollution cleanup. And then it's every 2 points that you put into... There we go. So like right now, if I do this, I'll get minus 4%. What is it? Yeah, minus 4%. So, like, I can clean up pollution, but of course my planet's not building anything then, so that's really wasteful. We'll probably have to do that at some point because there's so much pollution here, but it's something I'd prefer to avoid. I am going to design a ship, and I'm going to go take care of the pirates that are near me. Because there's a pirate colony here, which is basically the space barbarians, and I would like to get rid of them. I also have a space factory, so let's head down here and start building an outpost to block that entrance. And let's go into the ship designer, shall we? Alright, so let's design the best ship I can. I'll use a destroyer hull, which is a little bit bigger than the frigate hull. So this one, let's see, the frigate hull is 1 command point, base cost 22. This one is 2 command points, base cost 61, so obviously it's more expensive. Oh wait, no, I actually need to take an empty slot. That was a ship that was already created. Never mind. Here we go. Alright, so armor, we use default armor. We don't have any upgraded engines yet. I'll add the shield, because the class 1 shield is pretty nice. Oh wait, I can't add it because I'm already overmaxed on space, because for some reason the game defaults to being full of weapons, which is really silly. Gotta go in and manually remove all the weapons. Alright, so add the shield, done. Now let's get some weapons on here. Right now, missiles are really overpowered in the game right now, so let's load up on missiles. Here's how much space we have. Alright, so we can fit, let's go with 6 missiles. It's 2 slots of 3, let's try that. I don't know if there's an advantage to having more slots, but I guess this way we can fire up multiple targets. And I want to get some bombs on here so I can deal with that barbarian, or pirate colony. So just 2 bombs. I don't need a lot of bombs right now until I start going after AI stuff. So let's do this, and we need a name. Just call it Merculite Destroyer, because it's a destroyer that's packing Merculites for its main weapon. And that way I'll remember what's actually on this. You're still on me being on turn 50? Yeah, sorry. I decided I wasn't going to finish. That was more me just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And I decided to just leave that one alone, not go back and finish that one. Part of the problem is it was on a larger map. Here we go, 6 turns. Alright, let's build this out of the home world. So see, if I move the population down here, we start polluting, and I do not want this to go any higher than the 95% it's already at. So, yeah, this we can grow, we can build this. I thought I chose that. Here it is. Okay, let's go ahead and build that. And that'll work for here. Let's just get rid of that. Yeah, that's the industrial accent. Alright, so we also have a colony ship. No missiles, so to answer your question, Slate Quills, I don't know about... I can't speak to Master of Orion 2. I didn't play that game. I've only really played the original Master of Orion. Missiles in the original Master of Orion are really good at hit-and-run attacks. That is, you pop into a system, you fire missiles, and then you retreat. The biggest issue in the first Master of Orion game is missiles are limited in quantity. You can only have so many shots per battle. So once you fire your missiles, you're kind of out of ammunition, and then you're just done. So missiles are strong, but you can't stick in a fight because you only get either 2 shots or 5 shots per battle. So they're actually nicely balanced. If they did that with the current missiles, that would actually be a pretty good idea, because currently missiles are really strong, but if they limited how many shots you got per battle, you know, then they might suddenly become more valuable. Okay, so I think I'm going to send this ship. See, this planet is not very good, but it's strategically located, and it does have that dark quartz. It gives it a production bonus. It is poor, though. That's barren. That can be terraformed relatively soon. Boy, why are the strategic planets so crummy? These planets really suck. Well, let's get the ones on the front line. At least this one has enough food to support itself, I guess. Max pop 5, not too good. I'm trying to see which one of these I think is better. 2-1, max pop 5. Are they both max pop 5? I think they are. Yep. 2-1, 2-2-1 versus... Alright, so this planet's better. Small, barren, abundant. Let's go there. Again, and then I want to fortify this system. Start fortifying it with real defenses. We found an anomaly? Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out with something. Alright, so we finished a colony ship, and... Are we polluting on this world? No, we're not polluting, so we're okay for right now. Population still has room to grow. We don't have anything crucial to build in terms of infrastructure. So let's get another space factory. 2 of them is probably sufficient to start building those, to start building forts on these systems. And then we'll probably go back to more colony ships after that. No, so 30-second recap. Yeah, I did it when I started the stream, but I'm happy to detail it. So I started here at Mentar. My opponents are humans here, soccer here, Mercians here. The systems that have like lighted up is their homeworld systems. So I've got a huge amount of territory back here that is kind of up for grabs, and I am putting blockades in place to try and stop people from getting access to this part of the map. I have ships that are blocking it right now, but these are pretty weak ships. They won't hold up if they get challenged. So I'm trying to blockade the stuff back here and then colonize it and just kind of run with that. So that's what's kind of going on so far. So I have a lot of planets over here. Unfortunately, they're all pretty low quality. There's a lot of bad planets back here. Alright, this is one of my new colonies. It just finished its first production building. And we want to get more food. Oh boy, do I want flat food or the cloning center? Probably the cloning center. It's just too good not to grab right away. So 9 turns, we'll let that run for a little while. Oh, that kind of recap? Yeah. Anyway, so everything's moved. Again, if I were playing off stream, I might try to micro this a little bit more, but I'm not too worried. Alright, so there's a pirate fleet has popped up. That means that we're going to have to deal with them. I already have a ship under production to come deal with them, but in the meantime, I might want to move one of these blockading ships away.
I've had some cause for concern lately.
So this is something that's really annoying, is the AI gets mad if you colonize near them. Well, we are going to colonize near the humans, so let's watch what happens when I say decline. See, now all of a sudden he hates me.
I shouldn't even bother with the likes of you.
Yeah, I'm not his friend anymore. Sorry, buddy. But I have no intention of I have every intention of colonizing near this guy. So he's going to hate me for that, but he's just going to have to deal with it. The council mechanic is in the game, yes. When you settle a certain percentage of planets, it pops up. Good question. Good question. Alright, so skip this. And this planet has no food, unfortunately, which means we're going to need to import food by building farm stuff, and that's the only way this planet will be able to feed itself. Now, it doesn't need too much food because it can only grow to size 4, but we do need a little bit. The good news is it's ultra-rich, so it has a lot of production even for a little planet. And we don't have to worry about pollution because toxic worlds do not have to worry about pollution. They're already polluted, so pollution's a non-issue here. That is one of the things I like about this game, in that there really is some diversity in the planets that you get, and deciding which planets to colonize makes for an interesting decision. So anyway, we need some kind of food on this planet, so let's go ahead, build this. How much money do I have? I'll check. I wait after this.
Galactic News Network.
Yeah, the voting does not feel as threatening as in the original Master of Orion. They're saying I have 5 planets. I'm the first of 5 planets. In the first Master of Orion game, you pretty much had to assume that the AI would always vote against you. Like, all the other AIs would always vote against you all the time, and they don't really seem to do that in this game, so it's not as threatening. Alright, so, well, since this planet's ultra-rich, I don't think this is a good place to do cash rushes, because this planet can kind of support itself, and I'm not making as much money as I was before, so I'm going to hold on to that cash for the time being. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. So I've got these pirates to deal with. I can just cash rush a frigate to deal with these guys. This is a pretty cheap build. This won't cost a whole lot. Let's do this. Slot this up. Yeah, so I'll just buy that. Take advantage of the fact that I get the free production to grow, and that'll deal with this ship here. And then I get another lightly armored frigate that I can move around. What happens when someone's elected? Well, the game ends. If you can get 2/3 of the population in the galaxy, then the game ends, because you can just vote yourself the winner, which is something I've always liked about Master of Orion. Alright, so we've got our morale building done. Do we have the cloning center done? Yes. So let's build this to help growth. We've got a lot of growing to do. Helps growth, helps research. We don't need to worry about pollution right now, so we're good on that. And let's slot down here, get a little bit more production. Still grow next turn. Looks good. Alright, so Space Factory's on the way. Next turn. Hello. Alright, so they are blockading the planet. This is one of the neat things that they can do. They can blockade the planet. Let's see. So here's what that does. A blockade is the result of a hostile fleet orbiting your colony, unchallenged. A blockaded colony cannot buy production or scrap buildings. The strongest hostile fleet will control until challenged. It imposes a morale penalty and confiscates money, so that's annoying. All that stuff is obviously not great, but I cash rushed ahead of time because I knew they would do this. Let's go ahead and kill the pirate raiders, shall we? By the way, combat in this... I think Did I get a crash? Did the game crash? No, it did not. So combat in this game, I think, is still very much under development. I hope it is, because it's not that good right now. It's a little silly. Alright, so here comes my little flying UFO, a tiny dot on the map. By the way, did you notice how overpowered missiles are? Note the lasers just pinprick each side, and the missiles are just one-hit kill. Can you continue after winning? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Good question. Oh, you can always not vote for yourself. Like, if you don't want to win the game, just don't vote for yourself in the council. You can always abstain. Like, you don't have to vote. So you can always keep playing on if you want to. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff here this turn, so let's see. Mentar's grown a population point. That's good. I'm gonna keep running farms, keep running food until we grow. So we've got this under, got that under production. This is my third planet, so we'll keep growing here. Nowhere close to the cap on food yet. This is the rush-built frigate that we just finished. We'll keep building the cloning. Actually, 2 turns. We'll keep building the cloning center, I think. New design. Deep space exploration's done, so now we can build the fungal farm, which is nice. We have a desert planet where the food is going to be pretty nice. So we wanted this tech next because I wanted to grab this, the neutron collider, which gives plus production, which is quite nice. And then there's some more good stuff behind that. We'll probably go for private funding next.
I have some information you may find.
You can move population around. I haven't found a good use for that yet, but I assume that can probably find a use. If you really want to micromanage, you can probably get some good stuff out of that, is my guess. And here comes the space factory.
As more and more
oh, here we go. Here comes the Galactic Council. So our first meeting, what turn is it? Turn 58. So it meets every 30 turns. Next one will be around turn 90. Alright, let's see. So we get our first council vote. I don't know how many stars have to be colonized, or how many planets have to be colonized for it to meet. But however many, we've hit that threshold. So we're nominated against the Sakura, no surprises there. I expect everybody else will abstain. Alright.
I forsake my vote.
Yeah, so humans abstain. They had 14 votes.
I just can't seem to make up my mind.
Kitty abstains. She had 16 votes.
I choose myself.
Sakura vote for themselves with 19, and we have 23 it looks like, so we're slightly ahead of them. Now, in the original Master of Orion, if you voted for yourself, people got angry. If you voted for your opponent, they loved it. So let me just see if I can vote for them and earn the free Diplo brownie points for voting for them. I just got to make sure they don't get enough to win the election. So I have 23 votes. By the way, it should tell me I have 23 votes. I have to figure it out by doing the subtraction up there. Alright, so 23 plus 19 is 42. 42 out of 72. That is not enough for them to win the game, so let's vote for the Sakura.
I've arrived at a conclusion.
So there we go. Undecided. Nobody won. So that should improve relations with the Sakura, if this game's anything at all like the original Master of Orion. Having too much population does not have negative effects, but you have to keep them happy, is the main thing. Like, they will get unhappy. So let's go check out what this anomaly has first.
The anomaly turns out to be
we got another ship. Okay. That's not that useful, actually. Better than nothing, though. And you come over here into this system. I guess I can't move it until next turn. Anyway. Alright, so I wanted another colony ship here. I'm going to keep cranking out colony ships when there's nothing else to build. It's not a fast build, but there we go. So I can go down here and get it down to 8 turns. That does increase pollution, though. So I'm going to run food until this planet grows and then drop them in there. Are the Sakura an offshoot of the Zerg? No, the Sakura actually predate the Zerg, because Master of Orion came out in 1993 and StarCraft was, I think, 97. So they came out a little earlier. They're just lizards in space. Nothing really more to them than that. Yep, just space lizards. That's all. Alright, so let's hang out here until that other ship comes out. the one that I'm building in my homeworld.
Welcome.
Wow, another GNN news flash.
Sakra Brood.
Alright,
Against
so the lizards and the cats went to war, apparently. Have fun with that, you guys. Those two races hated each other in the original Master of Orion. Apparently lizards and cats do not get along, and I guess they're back to war again. So we'll see if that manifests itself in any form. They're both pretty much out of planets to expand to, so not really a surprise. They can 1v1 over here, and I can 1v1 against the humans, I guess. Alright, you guys, as I said, I want you to come over here and seal off that entrance point. Alright. What still needs to move? Oh yeah, you just hang out here until I can bring somebody to deal with that. Our colony's population has reached a critical level. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. If it was this planet, I don't see any problem with it. Done. And so the homeworld is now finished. A real military ship, not just a blocking dummy. So let's build another colony ship. Because there's not much else to build, at least until we finish our current research, and I'm totally fine with that. Getting more colonies out is only going to be a good thing. Alright, so this ship is a lot more powerful than my other ships. This one's 680 power, these ones are 119, so yeah, a lot stronger. And this one actually has bombs on it, so we can come down here and bomb out this space pirate fleet. And I think I can colonize the planet once they're gone. Could be wrong about that. Oh, the flags, yeah, so the flags. Looking at the flags, what's the soccer one? Oh yeah, wow, good point. The soccer do have a Zerg flag, I didn't even realize that. Good point. We had mentioned before that the Cylons, their flag looks like the Zora's Gem in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. That's like the same symbol, which might be true. It's been a while since I saw that. Anyway, hi guys, welcome. Thanks, Elmer. I'm glad you enjoyed reading some of the write-ups on the website. Glad to hear it. Yeah, so the 98% pollution in the home... Oh, wow, the homeworld's polluting. Alright, we're going to have to... that is higher than I expected. Okay. I see. So, yeah, pollution's hitting a critical level. We got to clean some of this up. Alright. I'm going to have to run pollution cleanup for a turn or two, because that is too... No. Let's do that. Alright, so I've got to run this for 2 or 3 turns, which is really wasteful. I had a bad event hit. I had an industrial accident hit and cause pollution on the homeworld. So that's annoying. I'll have to research to the next pollution cleanup tech. Alright, you go there. You... Alright, I've got some food done, so it looks like we've got the basic stuff done. Finish the research lab, and then this planet can start doing more useful stuff. Morale is good for right now. Anyway, I'm glad some people have said that they really enjoyed some of the write-ups from a little while back. Always nice to hear that. Alright, so anyway, so the space factory is here. Now we can tell... So the space factories are basically your workers in this game, or as close to workers as you get. I've also said they're very much like the constructors in Galactic Civ. They like build stuff in space. Unlike the constructors in Galactic Civ, though, they are not used up. You can, like, when they do something. So we're going to go ahead and build a military outpost. So what this does is it puts a fairly strong defensive system in place. As it says here, though, you can only do it in a system with a colony, so that's why I had to use up putting a colony in this really crummy planet here, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to build this. So we'll construct this, and it takes 10 turns. Later on, you do get a tech that cuts the build time in half, so it will go down to 5 turns later in the game, but takes a while. Anyway, hi guys, welcome. Hi TaylorMade. Sorry if I'm a little slow getting to you, but good to see you, good to have you here. Anyway, so population growth. Put them on pollution cleanup. Can we get this to -5? There we go. Alright, let's run 2 more turns of this at -5, and then we can actually build something. Get it down to 80%, so it's not quite so critical. And this planet grew as well. This is my 3rd colony. So just keep growing. Your population grows so much faster once you get some of those early pollution cleanup techs. Not pollution cleanup, excuse me. Like growth techs. Cloning center, and what's the other one I have?
Good son.
This one, genetic engineering. That one makes a big difference. That gives you just a flat universal population growth bonus. Alright, so we just got ships moving right now. Kind of quiet turns. This is the toxic ultra rich that cannot feed itself. It can only import food. So this is where we need that fungal farms, because again we need to import food, but I think we'll want to do the auto factory first, because that'll help us build everything else faster. But I wanted to have some food trickling in, at least a little bit. This planet's going to take a while to get going because it's, you know, it's toxic. Not the best planet, and it can only grow to size 4, so not a great planet in the long run. We will be able to terraform it eventually, though, so maybe a long way down the road it'll become a good planet. We'll see. Anyway, so that's my military ship. Do I have any colony ships en route? Yeah, there's one up here coming up to this crummy system. That's a human scout. There's a couple human scouts like running around in my territory. I don't really care that much. The main thing is to keep out any military ships. Alright, has Mentor cleaned up its pollution yet? Let's do one more turn, get it down to 80%. That pollution is annoying. So more pirates respond. Oh, hello. That pirate ship is a lot stronger than the one that they had before. In fact, it's strong enough that I don't think I can fight that ship. I need the help of this ship. This ship, which is much stronger, coming down. So you... run away, maybe? Heroically run away. This planet is large enough that it won't die to a blockade now, but that's still not good. It's like, that's a much stronger pirate ship. I guess we've made it far enough in the game that the pirates are stronger. But fortunately, I did anticipate dealing with the pirates, so there's a ship incoming. I am enjoying the game so far. Good question, Eldrad. It's not without its flaws, but it's a fun little game. Fun little game so far. Enjoy a write-up more than the actual game itself. So, just to... if you're like not familiar with my channel or haven't seen this before, this is a reference to a write-up of a game that I did for Civilization. For a competition that we played in called the Apolitan Demo Game. And it was a very interesting game. I don't want to spoil it, but it was certainly had its twists and turns and was a very interesting game. So pollution's mostly under control now at the home world. And we got another colony ship coming out. And alright, that all looks good. But yeah, that was a fun game, and I'm enjoying this game as well. Let's see where that pirate moves. All right, it's going to move in blockade, no surprise. Oh, they've got a nuclear bomb, so they can actually bombard my planet. And they blew up something. That's not good. What did they blow up on the planet? There's the auto factory. All right, they didn't get the colony base. It looks like they got the farm. Yeah, so now we're going to have to rebuild the hydroponic farm. Well, that's annoying. Get down here faster! So, annoying. I can't rush by things here either. That's a really nice thing about a blockade, is you can't rush by stuff. If you don't see the attack coming, then you're gonna, you can't deal with, you can't just rush by stuff to fix it. Anyway, so here's a nice building, Neutron Collider. This increases production by a lot. We also get the third gun tech, Mass Driver, which is another beam weapon, and we get our first ground weapon. Increases the combat rating of ground marines. I have not done a ground invasion yet in this game, so we're not going to upgrade that. Let's view the tech tree. I think that what we want to do is run to this tech. This is the first building that really helps research, and some of my planets are getting closer to maxing out in pop, and they'll want to build a data center once that happens. I also could really use some of these. Colonial Revenue Service, it's the first money-making building. 1 BC per pop. It's a cheap building. Should probably put this on every planet. Just brings in more free money. Very helpful because I'm going to have to start dialing down the tax rate soon because my planets will grow in size enough that they'll be unhappy, forcing me to go down dial down the tax rate and then forcing me to build these things. Like, I'm making money now, but when I lower the tax rate, I won't be. Anyway, so up here, I've got another colony ship that's reached its destination. This is another crummy planet, but it's in a vital system. Notice how this is like a key choke point. If I can keep the humans who are over here in blue from coming east, then all these worlds back here are very safe. So we're going to colonize it just for strategic purposes. And every colony does bring in, you know, more population, more research. There's really no disadvantage to having more planets. The only disadvantage is the other races dislike you in diplomacy when you start to get bigger than them, but it's a small price to play. You still want to be bigger than them. You can't win the game unless you can either kill everybody else or have enough population to vote yourself the winner. I mean, those are the only ways to win, so you might as well, you know, you might as well take advantage of it. So this planet's very weak to get started. Let's rush one of its first buildings. That neutron collider is too expensive, so we want either... Do we want the factory to boost production, or do we want the farm to get some food coming in? I think that I would like... it's a bit of a tough call. I think I'm going to go with the farm because this planet is so food poor. It's actually better at production. See, like 2 food but 3 production. That means I should probably be working the production tile just because it's worth more. So I'll go ahead and rush by this because I can afford it. Put 1 turn into food for free because I get the production overflow. So I'll go with that. I don't know if that was the most optimal thing, but I'll go with it. You can hang out over here, I guess. How far away is this now? 4 turns? Alright. Hopefully we can survive the blockade that long.
Hand to hand and paw to claw.
So, apparently voting for them in the council did not improve their relations with me. Whatever, we'll accept this. They're never going to get over by me.
We're glad you accepted.
Just doing that to avoid.
Like a blind dog in a meat market.
Okay. So, they don't want me to talk to the Sakura. Okay, whatever. Alright, please don't blow up something. They killed one of the population points. Great. That's not good. Get down there. How many more turns? 3 more turns, I think. That's very annoying. This planet has... Oh! Planet has shrunk. I see. It shrunk because there wasn't enough population working. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it... Did it actually go down in pop? I guess it did. Oh, yeah, duh. It went down in pop because they blew up the... They killed one of my people. That's why. It's like, of course it went down in population. They freaking blew them up with their bombs. Alright, so which planet is this? This is my original second colony? Okay. So, I can't remember what we actually built here, but, oh, we built a colony ship, that's right, duh. Didn't we? We built something. This is why I gotta pay closer attention. I wish you could... Now that I click through, I can't even remember what I just built last turn, but that's alright. So we could build the neutron collider, which would be a big boost. What the neutron collider does is it's +1 production for every little dude I put on the planet. That would be quite nice. So do we want to make that long-term investment? Probably we do. We also probably want to get pollution cleanup sooner rather than later, but let's get this first because it improves production. And let's do this. Alright, 10 turns, it's not too bad. Alright, so we built a farm here. Oh yeah, because I cash rushed it. And now let's build that factory. Just have this planet get started. Alright, share charts. And we need to move... Oh yeah, this... Yeah, I would not win... I do not think I would win this battle. I have no idea what's on this ship, but I don't think I'd win it. So you can just hang out here for right now. Alright, yeah, so I think that's where we are in this turn. If I'd known they're going to spawn that powerful of a ship, I would have gotten a real military ship out faster. But I'm learning something for the future. Alright, so that time they missed. They didn't get anything, so that's good. Those bombs are not guaranteed to hit. Alright, so here we go. We have a striker here. This guy is unhappy because the morale has dropped too low. So the question is, do we want to dial down the tax rate, or do we just not care about one person striking? Let's see how much. Yeah, I don't think we want to do that. I think we want to keep this at this level, and we'll have to deal with the striker for right now. Okay, great, thanks. So that's annoying. I'm going to need to get some of those econ buildings. Alright, so growing further is not going to do anything here because we got a dude on strike. That causes more pollution. Actually, we're polluting at a pretty good rate here. Does that change the time? Alright, it decrease it by 1 turn. Yeah, so growing here is not going to do anything. So my planets get unhappy at size 7 right now, but we can't increase the tax rate until we build some of those econ buildings. Specifically,
Good science.
yeah, what I'm researching right now, economics. I'll have to build some of these colonial revenue services, and if I build a couple of those, I'll be able to dial down the tax rate without losing money. But for right now, I can't afford it. So we built a colony ship here. Question is, do I want to build another neutron collider? Probably I do, because it really does speed everything else up by a lot. And then this planet will be unhappy at size 7 as well, so it can grow another size, and then we probably want to dial down growth, because growing into unhappiness is pointless, obviously. Alright, 2 more turns until I can deal this. I think that the planet will survive. I hope so, anyway. Oh yeah, we got another colony ship, so where do we want to send this one? It's a good question. Mentar is building a colony ship. Mentar is probably going to grab this system, so I can fortify this one. So let's see, where's another good spot? Preferably over in this direction. That's not a very good planet. That's also not very good. Most of these worlds are not very good. They're all low habitability. This one has no food either. It's like, okay. That's a gas giant. There's no planets there. That's small, radiated, poor. That's a gas giant. I think this system, yeah, this system has some better planets in it. Unfortunately, it's really far away, so Mentar is probably better suited to colonize this system. I guess, well, I might as well just start filling out the crummy planets then. I mean, we might as well. And they're all pretty equally crummy, so let's might as well grab the very first one right here. Why not? It's not a very good planet, but they're all pretty bad, so we might as well start grabbing the low-quality ones and go from there. It is a huge planet. If we can ever terraform this to something that's non-radiated, that'll be good. So yeah, let's start building some stuff that will add food to the planet. Gonna take a while, but that's okay. Just let it sit there for a while, slowly doing its thing. Like I said, a lot of weak planets here. Oh, hello. Is that another? Alright, please don't blow up the only population. I have no idea what happens if the pop goes down to 0. Alright, what did they blow up? Yeah, it's not actually... oh, it is starving. I guess they blew up the farm. I think. What did they blow up? Auto factory, cloning center. Oh, crud. They blew up the colony center, which I don't think you can rebuild. Let me see what's... yeah, they blew up the little thing that you get for free when you colonize a planet, and I don't think you can rebuild that, unfortunately. So that's not good. Yeah, you can fix habitability, but you can't fix resources or size. That's correct. I do, and that's right, there is a very big Gaia planet with poor resources. That's correct. Alright, so we can stay on this. Unfortunately, now I have a morale penalty. Yeah, this planet is not doing well right now, but we're almost there. Can almost, like, break the blockade. One more turn. Kind of amusing, right? Alright, so this planet is... this planet's gonna be... yeah, this planet will be unhappy at the next size, so... Alright, we don't want to be losing food, but we don't need it to be gaining food either. That doubles my pollution rate, so let's not do that. So the Cylon ability is 1.5... you get 50% more research from population. So, see how that's 1.5? It apparently rounds up, because 1.5 gets treated as 2, which is kind of nice. And we're in the process of building a thing that adds to production. Yeah. Alright. Alright, they missed. Good. Alright, let's finally destroy these guys. Alright, you and you both move there. Attack. Apparently you can attack even if you have no movement left over. Alright, let's test out. Let's see how my new flying saucer does in combat. It's like our first actual battle. Yeah, the big saucer and the little baby saucer. And a stronger pirate ship. Okay. So let's pause this so I can see the ships. Yep. I really like the Cylon ships, how they're all flying saucers. I've said that before on stream, but I think that their ship designs are really cool, and that's Kind of an interesting one, too. Alright, so... let's see if I can slow it down. Now, please don't shoot all your missiles into the rocks. Let's slow it down, so for more atmospheric combat. Alright, so here comes my missiles. Alright, good. They didn't hit asteroids. Have I mentioned that missiles are a little overpowered right now? Okay. First volley hits, and they just die instantly. I'll take it. So much for that ship. Alright, so we break the blockade. And the planet is technically still starving, but only until this farm finishes. Yeah, so better to do this. Alright, I'll take it. So Mentar's grown. We're about to finish a colony ship. Then I'll probably crank out another one of those production bonus buildings. This looks good to me. It's going to lose that pop point anyway when it finishes that. Now we can build... oh, yeah, we need to get some of these buildings up, too. Colonial Revenue Service. We're going to need that for the economy. Otherwise, we just won't have enough money. And I'm going on to this, which is another nice building. Advanced Data Center. So here's an interesting building, right? Maintenance costs 3, but it lowers the buyout cost. So if you want to have a planet to rush build stuff, I guess you could do that. I don't know if that's worthwhile. But yeah, so we broke the blockade. That's good. And elsewhere, things are pretty quiet. I've got a colony ship coming out of Mentar that I'm going to send up here so I can fortify that system as well. Another poor planet. There's the humans building their own blockades with their own space factories. No surprise there. Alright, so Mentar, let's get your neutron collider up as well. Because again, once this finishes, everything else will build faster. So it's pretty worthwhile. Let's see, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 more production right now. That's a pretty big increase. Going from like 14 up to roughly 20. It's a big jump. So we'll let that ride for a little while. And we might have to do more pollution cleanup too. And we finished a factory here. Oh yeah, this is one of my radiated toxic ultra rich planets. We need food. Need to get more food because we can't get any from the planet itself. Alright, so I'm getting a little tired of being I was getting tired of being bombarded on my planet. Let's bombard their planet, shall we? Alright. Space pirate colony destroyed.
Your crew descends to investigate.
Oh look, and we even gained a population point. So I guess whoever was alive there jumped over to my planet. Did we like enslave the surviving pirates? I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. Anyway, but for what it's worth, we have dealt with the blockade system. Yeah. I saw it grew. So the warehouse is really useful later in the game. Okay, you can get a new tech in just one turn rush. That makes sense. I mean, I think it's a neat idea for a building. I agree. Alright, so you come over to this crummy system and grab that so I can build a military outpost or whatever it's called. So we're about to finish a military outpost there. So the AI loves to build these things. They build them everywhere. If I look up the humans, you might see that they have them up everywhere. Back here, too. It can be a little hard to tell which one belongs to which empire. I guess they have the color on them. Like, that's blue for the humans, so I guess mine is purple on it for the Cylons. Yeah, but it's still not the easiest. They make them all red. They give them this red outline to show that ships can't move there, but it's still a little tricky. Anyway, so we finished a farm. That's right, so this planet now has food coming in. Finished the farm. Which planet is this? Oh, this is the one that was getting bombarded. So we're gonna need a morale building because they blew up the morale thingy on this planet. So it'll be unhappy. Let's see, 70%. It'll be unhappy at size 4. I guess we have a little bit of time. It'll be unhappy at size 4. So that gives us some time. I think we need the fungal farm. The interesting thing is this planet does have the cloning center. Let me look at the surface of the planet. So this building actually survived the bombardment. So it's nice that it has the cloning center, but it needs actual food for the cloning center to do stuff. So, alright, and we finished... oh yeah, we finished the space factory here. Okay. So you go ahead and build another military outpost right here. to blockade that entry point. So the space factories can do other cool stuff, like they can put down, they can build a military outpost. They can build a sensor system that allows you to see further away, and that can be built anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a system with a colony. And they also can do terraforming. Like later on, you can terraform this pile of asteroids into a planet, like later on in the game, further down the tech tree, which is pretty cool. And up here, similar thing. Got another space factory. Build another. So, oh yeah, here's all the stuff they can do. So that gives you, like, lets you see stuff further away. I wish that the game would show you the range of your scanners. Like, I can't tell what's in scanner range and what isn't because there's no graphical display right now. I'm hoping that'll get added at some point. Here's the military outpost. This is what I've been building. This one lets you get money from asteroids. Not terribly useful, but okay. This one lets you get research. Again, not that great. And this one lets you get money off of gas giants. This is like the stronger version of the same outpost that comes later in the tech tree. And these are the ones that are more fun. You can turn a gas giant into a planet that's actually colonizable and turn asteroids into actual planets. So some fun stuff to do later in the game. Yes, they do, actually. Good question. That's just what I was highlighting, but I know Twitch delay causes stuff like that. Alright, so now we have, like, actual ships. Like, this fleet is not especially strong, but better than nothing. So, I'll keep them, might as well send them over here to, like, the front lines. This is the area I'm most likely to see a ship come through because it's by human space and also Martian space, and I guess the Sakra aren't even that far away, so I'll move them over here. Just in case I need them. Unlikely, but you never know. Quiet turn here. Just click move and next turn.
Your ships are trash, strewn across the galaxy, soon to be swept under the rug.
Do we give him the money to try to boost relations? Sure.
That was a wise choice. It may yet be worth dealing with you again.
Oh, he didn't call me his friend, though. He didn't call me his friend. I'm disappointed. I am disappointed, human. I thought I was your friend. The voice acting for the human seems to like calling you friend for whatever reason. Alright, I'm going to do a quick check-in on my planets. So, I think the reason why we're not seeing anything finished right now is a lot of my worlds are building this neutron collider, which is a big production booster. Yeah, and so when that finishes, a lot of them will get a lot stronger. And the other planets are new colonies that are all pretty weak, so there's not a lot for them to do. Alright, homeworld. Does this cause us to jump up to 2 pollution? Nope, it doesn't. So I'm good with that. Does it save? It doesn't save me a turn though, so. Alright, let's leave it at that. Again, a pretty quiet turn. But I'm happy to let the automation just work when there's not much going on. Oh yeah, you come hang out here. There we go. Not a strong fleet, but better than nothing. Alright, so we've got our first building, and yeah, look at how production's jumped up. But guess what's also jumped up? Pollution! Yep. This, that neutron collider also does cause a lot of pollution, so that's an issue. But it also causes us to build things much faster. So let's try to get this to deal with pollution cleanup. And I think the next thing I'm going to have to research is the Tier 2 pollution cleanup building, because I'm not going to want to deal with this for a while. So yeah, let's do this. Everything causes problems, right? Alright, so we finally have some food coming in here. Got that. Let's build the auto factory. And alright, we finished this. So the advanced data system is really nice too. I just don't have a lot of people on research yet. But I will, as my planets continue to max out stuff. I will be putting more people on research, and then this data center is really good. Okay, so where's the next cleanup building? I know there's another pollution cleanup one pretty close. Alright, here it is, toxic processor. That's the next one to get. Oh, soil enrichment's here too. Soil enrichment will be very good on some of my weaker planets. So you might have noticed I'm not really putting anyone in tech, but like I feel like the techs are still coming in fast enough that like I'm still getting a lot of research here. Maybe when they implement higher difficulty levels that won't be the case. Here's our first terraforming tech, is not far off either. So yeah, let's grab this. Both soil engineering and that toxic processor are both things that are going to be very useful. mean, I'm still researching these techs at a pretty good rate. Alright, this is one of my new colonies. Yeah, small barren. Pretty sad planet, to be honest. Probably should get the cloning center. What can this planet grow to? Pop 5. That's not a lot, but probably still worth doing, because it will be able to terraform later into a better planet. 2 turns to grow versus 3 turns to grow. Let's do that. It's pretty close as far as which one's better, but I think that might come out slightly ahead. Alright, so yeah, this world, we're going to stay on production, thanks, because this planet only does one thing well, and that's create production. This is actually going to be a very good, like as you'd expect for an ultra-rich planet, it's going to be a very good producer. Like, it's size 2, and it's producing 12 production per turn, which is pretty hilarious, actually. So we don't need to worry about pollution cleanup, because toxic worlds are already polluted. They don't have to worry about that. We're good on morale to size 4, so we're okay for right now. I think we need more food stuff, actually. Let's build the cloning center and the biospheres, and then reassess after that. Alright, and we get another colony ship up here, in this crummy planet. I haven't played this game a lot, but this galaxy has definitely redefined poor planets. There's like 3 worlds that are any good, and then about 15 that are all terrible, that are over by me. Yeah, tech rushing doesn't really feel like a viable strategic choice. I agree, because you don't really have time to use, like, even if you rushed ahead, you wouldn't even be able to use the advanced buildings because you're still stuck on like the early buildings. So here's something neat. We have crust prospecting. Can only be used on poor and ultra poor worlds. It's kind of cool. But we have no food on this planet. Now the good thing is we have this dark quartz, which gives you a production bonus. It looks like the production bonus is 2. I get 2 from population, 1 from buildings, so it looks like the dark quartz produces another 2. But let's not kid ourselves. This is a very, very sad planet. Population max of 4, radiated, poor planet. Ugh. This is just not a good planet at all. But we'll do what we can, right? And let's grab this. This is a really cheap building. Maybe we'll go for some food after this. That should take me to, what, 8 or 9 planets? 8, I think. So I'm definitely colonizing faster than the AI, which is not surprising, given that this is average difficulty. I'm looking forward to them implementing higher difficulties, where there's more of a challenge. Alright, oh, here, so we've got another neutron collider done on this planet. This planet also will be unhappy at size 7. So that's not going to be too helpful. Let's get the pollution cleanup. Like, I need to deal with pollution cleanup first before doing anything else. Alright, so, but the good news is I can build this in 3 turns, because that building that I just got, the neutron collider, is pretty awesome. It just creates a lot of pollution. I actually would like to rename the planets, but as far as I'm aware, you can't rename your planets right now. This is an early access build. But yeah, I don't know how to rename planets right now. Alright, so we've got pollution cleanup a bit more under control. I think that's what we were working on here. We actually need money. So I should probably build this. Because this will give me 13... This will like double my income from building this thing. So I might as well. Of course, pollution is still an issue. Note that it's at 90% again. But that's okay, I guess. No, we don't want to go plus 2%. Plus 1% is bad enough. I am going to have to deal with that in a little bit. But the good news is Mentor's almost maxed on pop. Look, it's at 13 out of 15. Getting close to max pop. And then once I do that, I can stop running so much food and start running more research, which would be very nice, especially for the Cylons. Alright, what's this? This is probably a bad event.
And now, the state of the galaxy. Current ranking of space fleet strengths.
Considering I've put almost nothing into military, I'm pretty happy with that. That means that the humans are even lower than me, and they're the only ones who are close enough to do much of anything. Alright, let's get the Colonial Revenue Service, shall we? This planet has 7 pops, so that's worth 7 credits. And then if I can build a couple of these, I might be able to dial the tax rate down. When there's just one planet at size, like right now, I'm capped at size 7, so like this planet and this planet are not growing right now because of the tax rate. But once I get a couple of those, I can't remember what the name of it's called. What are these planets building? Colonial Revenue Service. Once I get them up on these couple planets, then I'll be in a position where I'll be able to dial up the tax rate. And I have to build a pollution thingy here too, but let's go for the tax thing. It's only at 30%, right? Or do I want to do that one first? Well, I don't want pollution to build up. Maybe I should clean it up. Actually, no, wait, I've already built the pollution. Oh, that's bad. I've already built a pollution cleanup thingy here. I'm researching the second tier pollution cleanup, but that's not good. Yeah, the Merchant are winning the war with the Sakura. They haven't taken over any planets yet, from what it looks like, but yeah, it looked like Kitty was ahead in that war. Let's look at the bar graphs, by the way, just so we can see. So according to Score, again, for some reason they think I'm doing terribly, and I don't understand that, but I don't know how Score is calculated. For whatever reason, they think I'm doing terribly in the game, which makes no sense. It's like, here's the Score bar graph, I'm down here, and the AI's up here. But, like, I'm competitive in army strength, I'm doing fine there. My population's starting to take off. Look, I'm starting to get a major lead in population. And colonies, I have more. I have 8 planets. I think the humans have 5. Yeah, the humans have 5, the Sakura have, and the Merchants have 4. Like, I'm clearly starting to get a big lead here, so who knows? I don't know how that score is calculated. Which one? Mama Cat versus Big... Yeah, cats and lizards apparently don't like each other. Which tech is the prospecting tech, just out of curiosity? I don't know if it's this one. Artificial gravity, perhaps? I'm not sure which one you're referring to, I'm afraid. The next thing I go for will probably be an engines upgrade, because... Well, or maybe terraforming. Just because, well, I'm not really doing shipbuilding. Maybe get this to unlock embassy. I'm kind of curious to see what the embassy does. Maybe we just grab that. I already have the tech for crust prospecting. Okay. I'm not sure if that was the reference. Yeah, I know. I'm well aware that my homeworld has a ridiculous amount of pollution. Okay, so you work on production. This planet has no food. This planet needs soil enrichment. That's what it needs. That might be one of my next builds here. Yeah, because it can grow. Like, this planet can hit a large size. It has no food. With soil enrichment, though, it would be okay. Alright, so here we... Wow, our pollution is still a big problem here, isn't it? We're going to have to build the tier 2 pollution thing. So we can build soil enrichment. That's +1 food per cell. But let's get the Colonial Revenue Service done, and then we'll probably go on to that second pollution cleanup. Yeah, this one here, Toxic Processor. That's what we need to solve our pollution issue. And I know I've stopped colonization, like, for a minute here. I need to go back and produce more... need to go back and build more colony ships, too. It's done next turn. Okay. Alright, let's grab this, and then let's see if we can establish an embassy, just to see what that does. I haven't built an embassy before. Yeah, so Mentar is really high on pollution. But I can squeeze out Colonial Revenue Service a turn sooner. I don't... Screw it, it's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to get these Colonial Revenue Services done. Why is this planet working? A researcher? Oh, wait, that's the homeworld? Okay. Yes, I'm well aware. I know how much pollution's on Mentar. It is very, very polluted. I'm well aware of that. Alright, let's build the Toxic Processor to help stabilize our pollution level, and we got to drop down to +1 pollution. So look at this, next pop maximum, that's cool. If I build this, I think I'll be stable at this current level, not increasing, but we'll find out. Pirate fleet. Ooh, pirates popped up in a new location. Well, let's send some guys to deal with them. So they must have a base on this tile right here. Alright, let's send our fleet out to deal with them. How powerful are they? Can I see? Oh, 21. Pff, whatever. But if I send this ship out, it can actually blow up. Here we go. just want one ship. Why is it not letting me pick just this ship? There. Alright, I don't know what this symbol even means. Oh, that's the weapons on board. Okay. 2 missiles, 1 bomb. Okay, I was thinking that's how many ships I had selected for a second. Anyway, you get over here and come deal with that threat. And just in case it tries to circle around, let's send another ship off in... this ship's healthy. Let's send this ship around in this direction, just in case they try to cut around down this way. Meanwhile, we've got another military outpost done, so that's cool. You come up here... Oh, wait. Yeah, you can come up here and build up here. Because you're probably closer. And you might as well build a sensor station, I guess. There's not much else for you to do right now. I guess I have to wait for next turn to give it an order. Oh, wait, no, I moved the wrong ship. Apparently there were 2 frigates on that tile, too. I didn't even realize that. Alright, you 2 frigates, move back next turn. You Space Factory. You build a space surveillance system. Okay. Alright, what did we finish here? Should have paid more attention to what I finished. Well, it doesn't matter. We want soil enrichment so we can start growing. That's the next thing that we want. Because that'll turn this into 3-2-2-2, and then all of a sudden I'll actually have enough food to grow. What about happiness? No, actually, no. I need a morale building. It's going to be unhappy at the next size. So build the government support facility, and then we can revisit. Oh, yeah. Oh, I finished... Yeah, okay. I finished those things. Wait. What? I thought I moved this thing already up here. I guess I moved the wrong... Oh, I see. I moved the frigates up there. Now, you 2 were supposed to stay there. I was kind of confused on what ship I had. Oh, it's going that direction. Yeah, thanks. I know. I guess it's just going to give me that warning every turn. Okay, so they're going to come over here and try to blockade this system. That's annoying. Well, it's not that bad. Maybe I'll just build a cheap ship and deal with it out of that system. Okay, cloning system done. Again, this planet is ultra rich, so it builds stuff fast, but it has no food, so we can't even use soil enrichment here. I guess. Well, I don't really need that much more food because it caps at pop 4, so I guess that's alright. I guess let's just go for more production here. Why not? I'm gonna need the more. Actually, let me do the morale building first, just because I'll probably forget it if I'm not thinking about it otherwise. That's gonna be a good shipbuilding world, if nothing else. It is ultra rich. Alright. Great, thanks. The good news is I finished some of these colonial revenue services. Let's get the toxic processor. Trying to solve the pollution crisis that's still ongoing. Automated factory, this is a new world. Yeah, still just growing. Needs food. Cloning center, then fungal farm, I think. I guess so. I'm not sure what the math is on those two, as far as which is better. Okay, this planet's growing at a pretty good rate. It's going to need food, though, so let's do the farm first, so it has some actual growth. Senior relations is done, so we can now establish embassies. I still don't know what that does. We'll have to check it out. This might be the next key tech here to get terraforming. Like, I'm not seeing a ton of other stuff I need. So let's look at the other options, right? This one is rush by. I don't need that. This one is military stuff. Troop transport, that's for invading. This is to use for espionage stuff, I think. Detects alien DNA. I don't have any non-Cylon population. This is deep scanner. Lets you reveal all planets when arriving in a system. That's not useful at this stage of the game. A special that increases weapon accuracy, which is probably nice, but don't need it. Missile weapon. Another special displacement device. This is faster engines down here, which might be very well worth getting. There's some better weapons down here, including an upgrade to fusion bombs and fusion beams. Space elevator is great for a planet that's building a lot of ships. It's very expensive though. Look at that, 5 credits per turn. If you wanted to build a lot of ships, that would be pretty good though. And the next upgrade in terms of ship size to cruiser, from whatever I have right now, which I think is destroyer, and an armor upgrade. So like this is a shipbuilding route down here, but I'm not really doing a lot of that. Pulson's the next missile upgrade. If we're going to try to go for the kill against enemies, we'd probably try to do it with like Pulsons, and where's the next bomb upgrade? Antimatter bombs. Like that would be pretty powerful. But for right now, we've still got tons of worlds to settle. My planets are nowhere close to maxed. This one's kind of neat too. This one allows you to build stuff on planets with moons, like see +4 research on planets with moon, or alternately, ships cost -20%. You have to pick one or the other. I think I'd like to play around with terraforming, like go for this, maybe then go for this one. Gas giant. Oh, and then this is what allows me to build stuff with the space factories, whatever they're called. Gas giant compression, artificial planet construction. That's pretty early in the tech tree, right? Maybe like a third of the way through the tree. You know, it's not deep in the tech tree that you can start creating artificial planets, which is kind of cool. So you can start doing stuff. But we have to go through this tech first, so let's see what that does. Yeah, putting the elevator in the ultra-rich would be nice. Which one were people saying? Advanced fusion? Yeah, advanced fusion would be nice, but unfortunately, the travel speed 1.5 doesn't speed you up as much as you'd think it does. I thought it did more, but it really doesn't, because when you're in a system, it doesn't help you. It only helps you on the jumps between systems. Now, granted, it would still help a little bit, but not as much as I thought it would. Like, until we're really interested in going to war and, like, doing serious fighting, the engine upgrades don't seem as... I just don't feel that useful, at least from my first game. I don't know. Anyway, I don't really want this planet to get... Wait. What ships are on here? Alright, Pirate Raider. Okay, I don't think these ships have bombs on them. If only I could tell what these little icons meant. Let's see, I have to check one of my own ships to see. So it's the one all the way on the left. Missiles. Okay, that one is for... No, that one is bombs. Okay, they do have bombs. That means I need to do something about them. Alright, so... We need some kind of a ship just to deal with them. I don't need a fancy, expensive ship. The basic destroyer should be fine. But I'm going to have to do something to deal with them, so... Just because I don't want to get blockaded. Alright, and you, just continue sitting here guarding, I guess. And you guys guard. By the way, another nice thing about these military outposts is they do heal friendly ships. Yeah. By the way, we're almost out of command points. I'm going to have to build a military base that allows me to... Yeah, great, thanks. Yeah, oh wait, 99%? That's not good. Alright, that's too high. That's too high. 99%, okay. Well, actually, I'm glad that popped up. Alright, let's clean up the pollution. Where's pollution cleanup? Otherwise the planet's class will be downgraded. Alright, all hands on deck for pollution cleanup. I told you to do pollution cleanup. There we go. -6%, alright. Let's do that for 2 turns. I was almost done, too. Okay. So we finished a factory. Yeah. Finished that there. Still polluting at that planet, too. Finished a frigate. Alright, we should be able to deal with this. No, I didn't lose the production. The production gets saved. I didn't lose it at all. Don't worry. That production... the game does keep track of production. I didn't lose it. Good question, though. At least I don't think that I lost it. Missiles OP. Lasers do nothing. It is all missiles all the time. For whatever reason. Alright, so that deals with that. That's good news. But, this right here, there's a pirate base in those asteroids. It's the only place there can be one. So let's come check it out, shall we? You can go back to that system. I'm not going to need you anymore. Still polluting, yeah, no problem. Basically, pollution's like, yeah, we'll deal with pollution at some later date. So we finished something. Did we? Alright. Yeah, I hate to put my colonization efforts on hold, but it's like, I've got to get this pollution under control. I've got to build the toxic processor, because I can't be +2 per turn. I'll hit 100% way too fast if I don't deal with pollution. So, well, after we stabilize at the new pollution level, we'll be able to go on to more colony ships. Alright, so this planet built its morale building. That's good. Still is missing that thing that you normally get. Alright, so what do we need? This planet's pretty low on food, though. It is a desert world, unfortunately. So, yeah, it can grow a lot, but it's limited in what it can do because it's... So, let's grab this and then maybe soil enrichment. This planet needs soil enrichment in the worst way possible. Yeah, I'm going to grab this because it's cheap, and then I'll have to decide between the neutron collider and the soil enrichment facility. Which will be a tough decision on which one I want first, because one makes me grow faster, the other one, of course, makes me produce things faster, and therefore build the next building faster. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we found the pirate base right here. Okay. Good to see. There's still a human ship poking around back here. Have fun, humans. Actually, 2 human ships. Just scouts. So not a big deal. Alright. Here's our ultra-rich planet. Still building away. 3 out of 4. Gimme the really powerful production stuff here. And, oh, we finished the scanner. So presumably we can now see stuff further away, I guess. No, don't scrap that. We do have an unexplored planet up here, so why don't you go check that out? Might as well, right? Got nothing else for you to do. And Mentar is now out of the critical range, so let's clean that, go back to toxic processor, and look, see, the production is still there. One of the nice things about this game is, yes, that production is still there. And we're about to hit population maximum on Mentar, so we don't need to work all these farmers. Cool. There we go. Our first planet to max out in pop, not surprisingly, is the home world. Alright, so let's get pollution down to right now, so we can work this much we can work this many people in factories and not pollute, because we have the first 2 pollution buildings. And now we don't need people in farming because, there we go, stable on 0 food. Now we don't need more people on farming, so now we can start doing research, and now our research is really going to start to take off. So the thing we want now is this advanced data center, because that's +1 research per cell, which is super nice, but I'm going to build a colony ship first, just because. There's still way more planets to grab. Alright, so we finished the colony center. Let's get the fungal farm. So we need more food. Although this planet can only hit size 5 until terraforming. So maybe it's not the best thing to get. Yeah, actually I'm not sure that we need it that badly, because the planet can't really grow that much until it's terraformed. So let's get the morale building. It'll be unhappy at size 4, but let's just do that right now while I'm thinking about it. +1 pollution. More like something I might have to worry about. Oh, embassies. Yeah, thanks. Great suggestion. Let's try that, actually. So these guys don't like me, so screw you guys. And they don't like me. And they also don't really like me, but...
What?
Let's see. Establish embassy.
We're listening. Now this
207 credits. That seems unfair.
You make yourself scarce.
Okay. I guess that's good. I guess nobody likes me because my population's growing so enormously. Let's try with Kitty. Let's see if she wants the same thing. Yeah, see, they all seem to hate me now. Oh yeah, look at that. They believe you're colonizing too fast. Yeah, well, get over it. I'm still going to keep colonizing.
I'm listening.
The diplomacy in this game needs some work. It's really hard to stay friendly with anyone. They all seem to hate it if you just play the game effectively. It's like, yeah, I'm going to keep establishing more planets. If you don't like it, then how about you build more planets yourself?
We ask
They
no
want even
more
more
than the lion's share.
They want even more. Alright, I do have money right now. I'm kind of curious what an embassy does, so I'm just going to pay to establish one with the Sakura. Not necessarily because it's the best strategy, but I'm just curious what it does.
We're listening.
You can have my charts too. I don't know how much they're worth.
This is a fair deal.
Alright, whatever. Okay, so that did improve relations a bit. So what does that allow me to do? Trade treaty?
We're listening. Now this is
no.
a fair deal.
I'm not paying you 161. It will yield 181. Wait, what? That can't possibly be 181 credits for both sides per turn. No, I'm not paying you 161 credits to sign an even deal. That's silly. I will ask, what about a non-aggression pact? Okay, yeah. Okay, the AI is really dumb in this game right now. They need to tweak this. This game's in early access, but this is just stupid. So, yeah. They need to work on this. Oh, okay. Well, he just asked to establish an embassy, so okay.
That was a wise choice. It may yet be worth dealing with you again.
They only have a love-hate slider. Okay. Well, works for me. Hey, there's a cat ship up here, and a... Oh, hello, okay. Actually, never mind. If there's enemy ships up here, then what we need to do is we need to not screw around. We need to go back here and we'll seal off this entrance to our territory. Stop people from coming in. So you guard that so they can't move through. That won't be enough to stop them coming around this way, but I can build a guard post here and then move this frigate around up there. I've heard of Stellaris. I'm not too familiar with it. The race traits are not the same as in the original Master of Orion, which is not a surprise, but they're similar in a lot of respects. Like the Sakura are still the growth race, and the Mentor, the Cylons are still the Brainiac race. You know, that kind of stuff is still around. Anyway, note that with the pollution cleanup stuff, now we are flat at 47%, so that's very nice. And that means it's probably time to go back to colonizing, because there's nothing else that really needs to be built here. I can't grow higher in size without people getting unhappy. So let's do that. And let me look at my planet list. Just out of curiosity. Oh no, that's uncolonized planets. This is my planet list. Alright, so how big are they? So I've built the money-making thing on the planets that are 6, 15, and 7. What happens if I drop the tax rate? Okay, I lose money, but I can also start growing again. Like, these planets can't grow. Let's keep it here for right now. Yeah, it makes a big difference in money, doesn't it, right? But I really would like Fluvius and, what's the other one? Minerva to be able to grow. Like, they're kind of stuck at this current size. Where is the next morale building on the tech tree? That might be a possibility as well. So what are we on right now? We're on the terraforming tech. Is this the next morale building? Alright, so it's here. That's pretty far away from where I am right now. Interesting. I'd like to get those planets to grow, but I also kind of like making money as opposed to losing huge sums of money, so... Anyway, yeah. Game does make for some interesting little decisions like that. Got to think about like where you want the tax rate to be, that kind of thing. So is this one done? Is the Space Factory building? Military outpost. Okay. Okay, so you just hang out here. You can't actually bomb this world. This ship here can bomb that planet. We're also about to get a new council vote soon, too, because it's been almost 30 turns. Oh, and wow, there, speak of the devil, I called that one. I thought it was going to be another turn before that actually met. Would you recommend watching your original Master of Orion playthrough for people who don't really understand what's going on? Sure, if you want to, if it's interesting. Anyway, so same thing, we're against the Sakura. Humans have 21 votes. They're going to abstain, no surprise.
I just can't seem to
So
make
here's
up
another
my
difference
mind.
from the original Master of Orion. They're at war with the Sakura, so you'd think they'd vote for me, but of course they don't actually do that. I'm up to 40 votes now, so that's good. I have more than a third, so I have 40 out of 111 right now in terms of pop. Let's see what percentage that is. 40 out of 111, so 40 out of 111. I have 36% of the galactic population. That's good. That means I can't lose the game. I have enough to block anyone else from winning an election. They really do need to tweak the voting mechanics because it seems like everyone just abstains and then votes for themselves, which is not how the original council worked at all. And if I vote for the Sakura, they have 66 out of 111. I don't know if that's enough for them to win. 66 out of 111. Nope, 59. That's not enough for them to win, so I'll vote for them.
I've arrived at a conclusion.
See, they're still short of the little line that says that they'd win. But they need to work on they do need to work on tweaking the council because the races need to vote, be more willing to vote for someone other than themselves or just abstain. Maybe they haven't done the programming for this yet. Who knows? Definitely feels incomplete. Anyway, so this planet's grown. Needs to be terraformed from a radiated world to something else. All right, this world. What did we just finish here? Finish something. I think it's time for a new wave of colony ships because these planets are kind of done with their current stuff. Do I like the new Master of Orion? I do, actually. And I don't think it's necessarily like the greatest game ever, but it's fun. It's definitely a fun game. I've been enjoying it so far. Hydroponic farm completed. So now we've got some food coming in. Let's build the factory for some more production. Remember, all these buildings do cost money, so balancing the economy can be kind of an interesting tightrope act. I'm especially hurt because I have a lot of planets that are very small in size, which makes it a bit trickier. So I think I'm going to play up to turn 100, just FYI, because I do have to get up for work tomorrow. But I haven't been enjoying this game for sure. Now, this planet can actually grow, too. It just needs the food to do it. So, oh yeah, so here we go. We're back to the decision. Do we want the Neutron Collider? That increases my production, so... or the soil enrichment, which is +1 food per cell. I actually think I want soil enrichment more. This planet is pretty solid on production. 4, 3, 2, 2. Like, I'm already getting 12 production here. But it's very food poor. I mean, very, very food poor. So we'll just put every new population point on production and squeeze out soil enrichment as fast as possible. Yeah, that could be it too. They just don't like me enough. But again, in the original Master of Orion, if they were at war with your opponent and they were not at war with you, they would almost always vote for you. Like, almost always. Just, they were much more willing to vote for somebody. And sometimes that could lead to, like, cheese losses where you just get cheesed early on and just end up losing, but... I think they still need to be more willing. Alright, so we'll take that out. We destroyed the pirate colony. And, alright, it looks like the reward you get is a population point. So we picked it up on Fluvius. Wait, where is that? The Fluvius system is... Oh, over here. Did we get it on this planet? No, we got it on this planet, so it just made someone unhappy. Alright. Okay, so it just created an unhappy population point, which is not great. But hey, it still pays an extra credit per turn from having that population, so that's cool. And of course, pays more in taxes. Yeah, great. I don't know why it picked that planet up there and not a planet near here. Yeah, if I jumped into the war on the side of the Mercian, they'd probably be more willing to vote for me. That is true. That's a fair point. I can't deny that. Alright, so some of these colony ships, we want to probably grab ships in this system next, because these are actually some decent planets, not terrible like all these other worlds. But it was so far in the back lines that there was less of a motivation to get down here. I wanted to secure frontline worlds first, and it is kind of far in the back lines. But yeah, that's a very fair point that you made generic username.
Galactic News Network.
Alright, what's up? Somebody gave us money, that's nice. Yes, wealthy merchant! How much did they give me? Oh, a lot. Holy crap, that's a lot of money. 800. That was like a 400 credit donation. The reason why that's cool is this event was called the Wealthy Merchant event in the original Master of Orion. I like the shout out there. Alright, so we finished Cloning Center. Now let's grab Fungal Farm. This would be a great planet for soil enrichment, but I can't even build it because there's literally no food on this planet. The surface of the world is radiated. There's no food whatsoever. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a lot of money. That's so much money that I think I can actually run at a loss for a little while. Well, if I run at this level, I'd have to... no, I just don't have enough money. I'd have to get later in the game. But what I can do is be aggressive about cash rushing stuff at new colonies. So that's good. Like, I am going to found some new colonies. I have a bunch of colony ships about to pop out. Colony ship, colony ship, colony ship. So yeah, 3 are about to finish. So I can aggressively rush stuff at new colonies. Where is the next... So I need either another morale building to grow my pop higher or another cash building. That's the next cash. Ooh, that one's nice. BC per pop +1 and 5 credits flat. That's very nice. What's also up here? Oh, and this also doubles the rate at which the little space factories build things. So those are both very useful. Where is the morale building? And that one's down here. So I wonder which one. This one would be easier to get to. I'd have to research 3 techs. This one I'd have to research 1, 2, 3, 4 techs. No, 3 techs. Actually, it's 3 techs either way. This one's probably slightly cheaper, actually. I'm not sure which one's better. Have to think about it. Well, we can decide next turn. What's the choice at Xenology? Alright, let's look. I'm still learning this tech tree too. So, Xenology... where is it? Alright. This one is used to control alien population of an occupied colony. So, you assimilate them into your population faster. And this one focuses on understanding the motivations and values of the other races, permanently boost the effectiveness of your dealings with every other race. Well, for me, this one's probably more valuable, because I don't have any aliens under my territories. This one seems pretty useful. I think it might be more useful to head up to this part of the tree. And this Astro University is really nice, too. By the way, check this out. +3 research per cell. It is a system unique. Only one planet in each system can build this, but that is a powerful building there. And then an espionage training facility that does nothing because it is to be implemented. To be implemented. Good stuff. Alright. So maybe the top of the tree. I don't know. So this planet's grown. We are now at capacity. Is this my... No, this is a desert planet. This is the one that's doing soil enrichment, right? Okay. Yeah, and we need to build another thing that gives command points. Maybe my little ultra-rich world can do that, because I'm now at the cap on what can be supported. Alright, so now we need to regrow the planet, because it just dropped down to pop 14, so I'll put some people back on farming. And... I think we just built another colony ship, because there's not enough... Oh, no, let's do the Advanced Data Center. This is a planet where I am doing research. So that's a nice thing to slip in. Alright, this ship, let's see, where do we want to send this one? That is a terrible world. Probably head down here to this Gaia world, even though it'll take a while to get there. Might as well start sending it now. Government support. Alright, so that's the morale building to keep this planet happy. This planet's very small, it's only pop 3, so we don't have to worry about food too much. Let's go for the Neutron Collider. Give us some more production. And then we'll probably select terraforming next after that. Yeah, spies have apparently not been implemented yet. Alright, so now we can terraform planets. I think the first planet to do that on will be our ultra-rich world. And then I was trying to figure out if I wanted this morale building. Well, I think this one's better because this one is BC per pop. But it's also +5 flat credits, so even a little, like, ultra-rich world could build this and it would still help the economy quite a bit. But wait, this would let me grow larger. It's a tough call, it really is. Alright, so let me break the tie this way. I've already seen this building in action in a previous game. I have not tested this building in a previous game, so let's go this route just to test this out. So, we'll be able to plow through these texts pretty quickly. And I'm going to want to get this tech pretty soon too, so I can start building those gas giants and artificial planets.
Furthermore, Controller, you might...
Yep, we've discovered terraforming. I know. The AI has made no attempt to get through my blockades yet. Like, at no place have they done that. You... I could have been building this a couple turns ago. So this needs to be scrapped. And you... Oh, wait. Well, that was silly. I can't build it because I'm capped out on command points. And that thing costs a command points due. Alright, well, have fun, buddy. How do I put you to sleep? Apparently I can't put you to sleep. Alright, guard. Or, okay, even though I'm capped on command points, it will still let me build this. That feels like a bug, but okay. Alright. And you two guard. Okay. I guess we can just ignore this limit, apparently. Game can be a little silly sometimes. And in that case, one of these planets that's on a colony ship needs to build. Yeah, so this planet's on the colony ship. I'll just build one of the things that increases command points next, so we can build more ships. Or do whatever. Alright. So where's the thing? Alright, so here's the thing that does that. Starbase, command points +5. Scanner range +1. Let's just get this up. So that we can, yeah, look at this. We're actually over the limit right now. That's pretty funny. You'd think that they would start disbanding ships or something, but I don't know if they actually do that. Alright, so that's a gas giant. We can't settle that one. Let's grab the other planet in this system. Even though it's kind of... Well, actually, Fluvius is pretty far away. I mean, these other systems are better placed to grab those. Why don't you grab one of the planets up in this direction? Because you're in better position to do that. That's a poor planet. That's also... this one's... Alright, this is probably the next best one. That one right there. Let's grab that planet. This one here. Might as well go for the ones that are closer. And this planet is finished. Yeah. So here's our ultra-rich planet. Doesn't have much pop, but it has good production. So let's do that terraforming, shall we? Where is terraforming? Oh, wait, it's not here. I guess I don't have terraforming for this class of planet yet. Must not have the ability to terraform a toxic world yet. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wait. No, this thing does... Look at this. Completely cleans atmosphere on toxic planets and upgrades them to barren. Perfect. That's what I need to do. I should have done that sooner. Wish I'd known. I should have been reading the text a little bit more closely. You need to pay if you go above the limit? Okay. Oh, it's 10 BC per point over the limit. Okay. Cool. Alright. That's interesting. Okay. I did not know that. So you can go over the limit. It's just very expensive. Okay. Thanks. I did not know that. You guys taught me something here. Always good to learn some stuff. Oh, now we're really over the limit. Now we're really over the limit. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, and this planet is... Yeah, is unhappy. Not surprising. It grew back the pop that came out for the colony ship. Alright, so that's going to fix that. This world here. Minerva. So... Yeah, we're currently at the population cap here, too. Build another colony ship. Why not? I see no reason not to. Alright, so Minerva, you can come and colonize this other planet down here. The I like how the go-to orders are shown on the map, by the way. That's a nice touch. The Tundra planet down there. You're well positioned to go grab that one. Alright, there we go. Long transit times, but they'll get there eventually. So yeah, I'm happy with that. We have a couple colony ships en route right now. 2 down here and 1 up here, so 3 more planets on the way. Eventually, when they reach their destinations. And the homeworld, you know, the homeworld can I think the homeworld maybe should get out of the colony ship construction and just do research. Once I finish this advanced data center, I can just plop all these people on research, and yeah, that'll be pretty darn good. Oh yeah, so we finished that tech. Alright, done. Let's look at the tech tree again.
Good son.
So this tech is 5 turns. And then robotics. Alright, so we're not too far away. Probably take maybe 15 turns to get there, because my research is going to increase in a few turns. Alright. This is a brand new planet that's very small. We finished the first production building. Oh, this one's radiated. So, yeah, there's not a lot we can do on this world, except build stuff, I guess. This does not fix radiated, does it? It fixes toxic, not radiated. So toxic is not as bad as the other. So there's like a couple different classes of one bar, which is really bad. Barren has some food. Toxic is not as bad because toxic you can clean up with that first terraforming. Apparently radiated and volcanic are the 2 worst because it's harder to fix them. We might as well build this so we can get more production. That's about all this planet's good for. Or alternately we can knock out the... we should knock out the cloning center, just because that makes future growth easier. Like building a granary in Civilization, you should just do that right away. Speed everything else up. I'm eager to get out from underneath this penalty here. That was a fast turn. Hello, so the Sakura managed to get a scout through. I think the Mercians have a scout up here too. That said, look at this, all these planets up here are still unclaimed. If that planet wasn't so far away, I'd go for it, but it's really back in the corner. Kitty has colonized all the worlds in her territory now. Humans have spread out a little bit, but they're all reaching the limit of what they can get, and I still have a lot of planets to do. Alright, so here's the toxic... we finished the toxic thing. And look, our ultra-rich planet is now a barren world. That's good. So look at this. We now actually have some food on this planet. Holy crap, we produce a lot of production. But we probably do want some growth. So what we need now is we need soil enrichment. And actually, let's just keep them on production until soil enrichment's done. That's what we really need, because then this will actually provide some food. So yay, terraforming to the rescue. We can do this. And can we terraform a barren world? That's another good question. Yes, we can. So here's terraforming. That now appears, and we can terraform this from barren into the next habitability class up, which will be like tundra or swamp or something like that. But soil enrichment first. Now we can actually do soil enrichment here. Yeah, there. Okay, radiated can be fixed. Volcanic, not at this time. Okay. How do you fix radiated? Does anyone know? There's the Guardian, by the way, in Orion. Soil enrichment is... Yeah, soil enrichment... You can do it on any planet, but it feels like it helps the weaker ones the most. Radiated... probably want the neutron collider here. Wait, we are really losing money now. And the reason why I'm losing money is I have a lot of low-quality worlds. If I had stronger planets, I would be in better shape from a credit perspective. Ultra-rich, yeah, that's the other big thing. Ultra-rich now goes up in size. That's what's really helpful. From size 5 to size 8? That's a big difference. Similarly, this radiated planet, we can terraform it to a higher class. This will be a really good planet if we can get it higher. Radiated can be fixed with the planet shield. Okay, thank you for that. Let me look where that is on the tech tree, because now I'm curious. So we can grow... Alright, we can grow a little bit further here. And... might as well grab this because it's cheap and it does give me a little extra food. So why not? Of course it costs money, obviously. Planet shield. Let me see where that is on the tree. Planet shield, planet shield. No, not there. It's got to be one of the terraforming things, right? Gaia. Oh, that's okay. That allows you to turn planets into Gaias. Soil enrichment says it's only for Gaia and Terran, right? But you can terraform planets into... Yeah, it says that, but it's not. Good point. Good point. It says that, but it's not. All right. Planet shield, planet shield. Here it is. Okay. All right. It's right here. Planet radiation shield. Okay. Good point. No, I think soil enrichment works. I think if you can build it, it works. I think they just need to upgrade the description of what it does. Okay, yeah. So as I start to learn this tech tree more, there is some really interesting stuff. Like if you have a bunch of radiated worlds, you should rush to this thing, right? If you have a lot of toxic worlds, you want to rush to the thing that upgrades toxic worlds. Like there is some neat stuff in the tech tree for this game. Like, there are some choices to make. So this planet grows. It grows into unhappiness. Geez, we're losing a lot of money now. I don't think I'm going to be dialing down that tax rate anytime soon. I'm still losing money. Oh, wait, that's right, because I'm 3 over the limit. Jeez. I'm way over the limit now. And it doesn't matter where you go. Fortunately, this striker will just be bled off when the colony ship pops out. Alright, advanced data center done. Oh, okay. So this is where our research is going to take off, right? So we finished the advanced data center. Now our dudes produce 3 research per person. That's quite nice. And next turn I can start moving these. Yeah, I can start moving these guys off food because it's about to hit the max, which is pretty cool. And I don't know. There's not like a lot of stuff I need to build here. Maybe we just run some pollution cleanup for the time being, and just say screw it. We don't need to build anything here. We can let other planets we can let other planets do the colonization thing. And for right now, we can just chill and say, let's do crazy research. That kind of thing. So anyway, we finished an outpost here. I don't really have another outpost for you to build. Why don't you come down here and get ready to start constructing stuff in these asteroid systems, because I'll get that tech relatively soon. Move. And next turn. I could rush by a spaceport for... Oh yeah, that's not a bad point. But I'm building the... I'm building the stuff that... I have... Don't I have it in production? Yeah, I'm 1 turn away from a star base, so... Whatever. It'll be solved next turn. Alright, so we don't need food now. So let's do this. And now our homeworld produces 37 beakers per turn. That's pretty good. And we're slowly cleaning up pollution, too. So, all that's good. What if I go here? It's still -4? Or did that just not update? Nope, still -4. Alright. Yeah, let's keep it at that, -4. We'll just do this for a couple turns, and we'll plow through the tech tree real fast with this. So, we picked up another military tech. Maybe someday we'll use that. I am planning on, after I've colonized... Oops, I wasn't even going to hit next turn. I was going to say, after I've colonized my part of the galaxy, I'm planning on, taking it to the AI, but I don't see any reason to do that yet right now. We might as well keep getting further ahead. So there's the star base. That takes us up to 19 out of 20. That solved that little problem right there. Oh, we can terraform this planet? That's cool. We can terraform it from swamp to Terran. Nice, nice, nice. So how far away are we from that morale building? Not too far. This is 3 turns. That's probably another 4 turns. So maybe like 7 turns away. So, why don't we... I don't think I need soil enrichment here. Why don't we just build another colony ship? It's the lazy man's answer, but why not? And you, here at Minerva. So we just bled off that population point that was unhappy. This setup looks okay for right now. Let's build a star base here. We're going to need more command points. We're only 1 away from the max again. So you build that. And this works because the next pop point's unhappy, so that'll work. And you, why don't you just grab... Oh, wait, no. I was going to say grab this planet, but it's a gas giant, so we can't go there. Why don't you grab this planet here? It's not very good, but... what are the alternatives? That's a gas giant. We can't colonize that. Actually, that planet's better. Let's go grab this one. The only problem here is it's small, but it still has pop 7. So why don't you grab that planet right there? And we currently have 5 colony ships, or 4 colony ships in transit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'll be these 2 planets here, this planet here. Yeah, so we're in pretty good shape. This world here, this is the one that got bombarded by the pirates earlier. This is still the desert planet. Oh, we finished soil enrichment. Very nice. So now we can finally grow at a half-decent pace. Still not fast, but a little bit better. Alright, so what do we need here? Probably the next thing is this, Neutron Collider, because of course that improves everything else. We're still not polluting, not yet. Terraforming is still very expensive, kind of out of reach. Very, very costly to terraform in this game, but of course it improves the base quality of the planets by a lot. So that's where we stand. I am number 2 streamer. Cool. That's good to know. I wish I could play longer, but it's getting close to 10 p.m. and I think I'm going to stop. I said I was going to get to turn 100. So why don't we take a look at where we are compared to the AI. The game still seems to think that I'm in last place, even though that doesn't really make sense. If we view the bar graphs, colonies. Wait, that is not the right bar graph. That is score. So yeah, the score in this game doesn't make any sense. I don't know why it has me rated so low in score. Why did my power shoot up in terms of army? I didn't even... Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so I built... They must be rating me low because I have a low command point score. That's got to be it. Because like look at how my score jumped up when I built a command center. But here's the real story. My pops here. Oh wow, what happened to the Sakura? Ooh, what's going on in that war with the Mercians? Look at this. They just lost a ton of population. Huh. So I'm at 41. Kitty is at about 27 roughly, and the humans are right there, and then the Sakura are around 20 or 19 roughly. And then colonies, you can see I'm really starting to take over. I've got 8. I have 8, but I have 4 colony ships in transit, and the humans have 7. That's what the heck. They must have 6. All right, they have. All right, I have 8, 6. What is this? 4, 8, 6, 4. Oh, the Sakura are losing their war. They're down to just 2 planets. That's what happened. They had their planets blown up. Yeah, they're losing their war with Kitty. Look at this. They're down to just Sullla and Colossa, it looks like. Not good times for them. I think the AI just blows up planets. I don't think they're very good at invading in this game. But yeah, so Kitty is emerging as the game's number 2 power right now. That's kind of interesting. Cool. Well, yeah, I'd play more, but I'm just going to save it here. And maybe we'll pick this up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have some time, and we'll continue this game tomorrow night. So, thanks guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying. It seems like people are enjoying this game. The tech tree is better designed than I first thought. There really are a lot of interesting choices. And even though there's some silly things about this game, the build order in each planet can be kind of repetitive sometimes. The saving grace for this game is that the planets are pretty different, depending on the